Hello Gemini, hello and welcome into your general tarot card reading for November of 2018. I was thinking that for a minute. Is that 2018 already? Oh my lord, 2019 is around the corner. So Gemini, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start from a spiritual message for you, and then I'm going to pull 8 cards, and they're going to kind of indicate, show the 4 weeks of November, what the future might hold for you, whatever messages they're going to come through. And then 3 cards, because I really like my readings being kind of focused. So at least there's always something to take away from it, even though it's a general reading. So this is 1, what to focus on, what to release, what would be the best possible way forward, kind of advice. Those are my beloved runes. I have them for over 20 years. Stay here. And they're going to serve as additional commentary to this reading for you, Gemini. So, what do we have here? Believe, Gemini. So the spiritual message for you for November is to believe. The force that works through you, determining what is possible or impossible, the difference between success over failure, and above all, who you are, is the power of your belief. Gemini, you have to believe in yourself. I think that's an amazing message. I love it. So let's see, what do we have here? We have a 2 of Wands. We have the Page of Cups. Something is going through my... it's very strong. We have 8 of Pentacles. We have a Star. We have Judgment. Wow, the Moon. I love a Gemini. I love it already. We have a Queen of Swords, and we have a Strength. And then what's to focus on? High Priestess. What's a release? 7 of Swords. Where's the best way forward is to succeed, Gemini. Gemini, the way how this kind of reading goes, and I love it, it's almost like you going back to the drawing board, because you have a 2 of Wands. And as you can see, he is kind of standing there on shore, the way how he is facing. If you're going to kind of imagine that the entirety of the reading is representing, if you're going to assume that future is a linear kind of thing, and we have a linear movement towards the future, that is our past, and that's how the things are moving, this sits kind of looking at the past. So 2 of Wands over here, what he's talking, you kind of re-evaluating what you have, what you'd like to do. There are certain things that you think, okay, I have done them, they're fine. Maybe there's not much I can do with it. Let's look for something new, look for the new growth, new possibilities. I have a skill set, I have an ability, I have a drive, I have a desire, what I can do with it. And you almost like whatever, you have a very good base to start something, like a new project, to start some kind of endeavor. But it's almost like you looking and you are reevaluating and thinking, okay, so what have I done? What have I missed? What are the possibilities that are out there? And it's almost the beginning of this month going to start, okay, what do I have? What possibility I have? What have I missed? Is that something that I have missed? Do I have this kind of 360 overview of the situation? And you're kind of going to go and review things, which is a very good thing. What else? Okay. You see, if you're going to look at this chap over here, you can only see 1 leg. So you might not be quite prepared to make this step forward. It's almost like you're evaluating. And you kind of going back and looking at the situation and thinking, okay, what do I have? How we can do it? And then you have a page of cups over here. And the page of cups is almost you're going to play with something, or you're going to kind of have that kind of with your own emotions. What is it that you truly want? So it's almost like it feels you would like to look and see how you feel about the situation, and it's almost having your gut feeling, your emotions confirming what it is. And the page might equally I'm hearing realization. I heard realization, whatever that means for you, Gemini. That's what came through. You might have that kind of aha moment, this kind of, you're going to almost have that kind of understanding that you might be very analytical, but yet there's something that you have missed, and you might have been missing this kind of spark, something that is the drive, that is something within you, and you might just shut it down. That's what's coming through, and you're going to kind of rekindle that connection with yourself. Equally, that might be indicating someone who is younger than you, the beginning of some kind of project, beginning of endeavor, falling in love with some kind of idea, playing with some kind of ideas, equally flirting. So this is kind of, the page is very kind of open, but I think you're going to look at certain things and you're going to go, and you're going to go, what is there more? And you're going to, it's almost going to reflect back at you. It's a kind of moment of self-reflection, reflection and realization. That's what came through. And you have a 7, you have an 8 of Pentacles over here. So you might be focusing on what is it that you can do. There may be certain things, that might be to do with your work environment. You might be very focused on delivering, building, creating. You might be doing it on your own. You might find it repetitive, you might find it boring, but equally you're quite happy with it, and you might be just rolling your sleeve and getting on with it. And yet again, it's almost, Gemini, like you go in parallels with yourself, because you see those two that are indicating these drive, almost thinking, analyzing. There's this emotion coming through, some kind of something that might surprise you, something that it almost, I'm seeing it being on your back and breathing at you, that kind of something that is trying to come through to let you know, well, don't forget about me, I'm here. I don't know what it is, but it feels like it. And then when you're going to immerse yourself in a work, when you're going to immerse yourself in doing things, you're going to try to get them off the ground, or you just know that you're going to be very busy, or you're going to have plenty of things to do, and you have a timeline, you have a timetable, whatever it might be, you have a star. So almost like some kind of realization again, and it's going to be, okay, now I can see it clearly. Now I can understand it, and the star is, it's almost, for some of you, it's going to be about realizing who you are and realizing that you don't know who you truly are, and sometimes you're going to realize that you are not truly living to your fullest of potential. That you're not going. I don't know how to precisely explain this, but you're going to realize, I can be far much more, I can do far much more, I have to believe in myself. This is about believing in yourself. Because you can do quite impossible things, because if you're going to think about this woman, she's naked, she has nothing to hide, she's pouring those 2 jugs, but look what she's seeing. There's no reflection of her in the water. And equally, having said that, she's standing on water. She does impossible, and yet she doesn't see herself for truly who she is. And then she has this guiding star, and she knows that there's something in behind that is telling her, well, there's some kind of, it's almost like I'm seeing or hearing that your past is kind of somewhere there in the background, and I don't know what that quite means, but it came. So and so you might not see yourself for who you truly are, and that might means that you don't truly see yourself, and you don't might be. I'm hearing about full potential, and maybe you might be not realizing how much of potential is there within you. So you might have that kind of realization moment again. So then you have a judgment. Judgment is about the awakening. Judgment is about being awakened to something that is higher, bigger than you. Might be to deal with some kind of situation. You might have people they are getting in touch with you. You might be hearing something on the radio. You might be all of a sudden going to kind of become like a revelation. And you're going to be very receptive of this message, because the way how this person is receiving that message, I don't know how well you can see, well, it's almost like the little bits there representing the sound, and you kind of go, yes. So you're going to be very receptive of it. Then you have a moon. So all of a sudden, moon is about, it's emotions, Gemini. It's everything that was underneath the surface, everything that you kind of said, okay, maybe I don't need it, maybe I don't want to remember this, maybe I'm going to suppress this, maybe it's going to come and it's going to inform you, and there's going to be this wonderful flow of amazing energy coming your way, and it's going to be highly creative. Because if you're going to think that you have this moon just underneath the page, you might have that kind of almost psychic, or it's going to be some kind of synchronicity going on, and your intuition going to kind of work in your favor. You all of a sudden, you're in your intuition going to kind of become the one, because moon is reflection of the sun. So once again, it's reflection, it's some kind of realization here. But this one is almost unraveling something, being able to see something that we didn't really want to see, because there's always this dark part of the moon that we don't see, and sometimes the part of the moon, the dark part of the moon, it's us. There's the parts of us that we don't want anyone see, and because of that, you're going to stand in your power. You're going to have that kind of clarity. You're kind of going to know what direction is. If you're going to look at the Queen of Swords in general, what the Queen of Swords is kind of representing, there's a watch over here below her. There are clouds. There's this one bird representing her power of intellect, the way of thinking, being able to see things, and you can see her sword, and it's almost like she knows what she's doing, she knows what she's talking about, she went through a lot, she might be not wanting to show her soft interior, but she's kind of showing this kind of very intellectualized, cold exterior, because when she's talking about something, she knows what she's talking about. She went through it, she had a good understanding, she experienced it, but then she's not someone who is going to feel sorry or pity for herself. She just knows what she has to be done, and it's almost like, it looks like Gemini, you have emotions, and whatever you when you're not in the flow, you kind of losing that direction, and I think the November is going to kind of give you that aha moment, this realization, that kind of understanding that you are two opposites, and they're working together when there's a good blend between your very strong intellectual side of you and your emotional side of you, between your rational and between your instinct and your intuition. I guess what I want to say was intuition. And you're going to have that clarity, and because you're going to have that clarity, you're going to overcome whatever difficulties you might have. You might going to have a courage to do whatever is needed, and you're going to overcome difficulties, and you're going to be able to have that fight with yourself in order to kind of step out of your comfort zone and do things that you were thinking but you were not able to do them. So that's overall what is coming through. And if you can see, the Strength has the infinity sign above her, so it's like a magician. So it's almost, and it's almost feels like you're going to have and that's going to give you this ability to grow, that's going to give you this ability to be more have a confidence. I'm hearing self-confidence. It's all about being able to overcome yourself, being able to overcome situations that before you wouldn't want to deal with or you wouldn't want to kind of be involved with, and then it's almost you going to, it's about overcoming and being in control yourself, being in control of others, because you know you have that, you're going to have that full understanding, you have that obligation towards oneself to look after yourself and kind of becoming the better version of yourself. That was coming through. So what else, Gemini? We have a High Priestess, so what to focus on. People might give you advice, but you have to do what you feel is right and focus on that. What to release, it doesn't matter what others do. Because if you see the others they're doing this, they're doing that, doing something else, it's not you. You should be focusing on what you're good at. The best way forward, just roll with it, go with it, and don't doubt yourself. So, what else do we have here as additional commentary, Gemini? Yeah, focus on yourself. Whatever is happening around, it doesn't really matter. It's all about you and what you can do. And doesn't matter what is happening outside or outer. It's about focusing on your core, focusing on your strength, focusing on what you can do in your immediate environment, in your immediate future, and just don't, and focus on now. It doesn't matter what other things might happen, or if buts, what ifs, doesn't matter. It's all about now, and focus about what you're doing, and one step at a time, Gemini. Gemini, as always, it's a pleasure to read for you. Thank you for tuning. Have a smashing November. If that resonated with you, please let me know by commenting, liking and subscribing. Once again, thanks and bye for now.